do is ping our nano server nano-1 to make sure it's reachable over the network, and it is. This nano server has been joined to an Active Directory domain, so I'm going to switch over to Server Manager. Now when I start the Server Manager tool, by default, if it's running on a Windows server with the GUI, it will only have the local server as a manageable host. But what we have the ability of doing is adding any number of servers to the console so they can be managed. And one of those types of servers is a Windows Nano server. Let's take a look at how that would be done in Server Manager. What we would do to begin with is we would go to the Manage menu where we can add servers to this instance of Server Manager. Now remember, Server Manager could run on a server with the GUI or it could run on a client workstation. So I'm going to choose Add Servers. Here I can query Active Directory for all of the hosts that are available. I could query DNS or I could import from a prepared file. I'm going to choose Active Directory where I'm going to select my Nano1 server and I'm going to add it to the list. Then I'll click OK. After a moment, it begins adding that server, Nano-1 in our case, to Server Manager. I can see that by going to the All Servers view on the left, so I'll go ahead and click that. We can see that we've got our Nano1 server that's now been added. So the IP address is listed, and we can see under the operating system version that it's using Microsoft Windows Server Technical Preview 2 Tuva. Tuva was the code name for Nano Server. Now we can see that as opposed to other instances here of added servers that are only listed as Microsoft Windows Server Technical Preview 2. So those would be the Windows Server operating system with or without the GUI, but they are not Nano Server. Nano Server is separate, small and lightweight, and it's headless. So we don't have a choice but to manage Nano servers remotely over the network. Once we've added a server here in Server Manager, we can right-click on it and do a number of things. We're currently in Technical Preview 2, so we're still using pre-release code, so many options that may not be here when we right-click on a Nano server in Server Manager might very well be available when the product is finally released. Currently, what we can do in Technical Preview 2, we can restart the Nano server, we can enter a remote PowerShell session, we can configure NIC teaming, and it's detected here that I have the Failover Cluster Manager role installed. So I have the option of also working with that. So for instance, here I'll choose Windows PowerShell. That's going to spawn a new PowerShell session where it's going to enter a remote session over WinRM to the Nano host, where I could issue PowerShell commandlets, for example, get-process, to show me what's running on that remote Nano host. Let's switch back to Server Manager. We can also go to the dashboard view where we can add and remove roles and features for servers added to the Server Manager interface. That also includes Nano Server. So when I go into the Add Roles and Features wizard, I can go through and I can select any Nano servers that I've added here to the Server Manager interface. And when I proceed, I'll see a list of roles and role services that I might choose from to install. And if I go to the next screen, I can see any features that are available, such as failover clustering, storage replica, and so on. In this video, we learned how to manage Nano Server with Server Manager.